Do the 49ers own the Rams?
Well, here's the thing. I think with the Seattle Seahawks over multiple regimes, I think that it becomes more of a psychological thing with that, with over the 49ers. With this, I feel like the 49ers have a tactical plan that the Rams can't stop. And that's
Mm,
something that Brandon Staley, which he runs a lot of too high, and he everything is nothing over your head,
right.
right? Nothing over your head, keep
Yeah.
everything in front of you,
Yeah.
which plays into exactly what the 49ers want to do with
Good
Jimmy
point.
Garoppolo,
That's a great
right?
point. Yeah, it's a great
So
point.
so
It's actually
that's
a
why
pretty
we're
good. It's a pretty good strategy against Lance, right?
yeah, like that's a
Yeah.
great strategy against Lance, right? But
Yeah.
with Jimmy, he's not going to really test you over the top,
Right.
and they don't want to give up explosives in that way, which is why basically Staley and Raheem Morris have resigned themselves to the fact of run the ball all you want. We have enough offense on our side where we're going to score points and we should be fine. You can
Yeah.
run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We're going to score. The
Yeah.
problem is that when the 49ers play time of possession, that doesn't help them. You keep them on the sideline for 10, 11 minutes. I don't necessarily think it's that psychological thing that the Seahawks have over the 49ers because that's over multiple regimes, as much as it is the way that they approach defense and the way that Kyle Shanahan knows to attack it more than
Yeah.
anything. So in that aspect, it's more Kyle Shanahan owns their defensive scheme. And also,
And their defensive principles, right?
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he also knows that, hey, I'm not going to throw deep routes to Jalen Ramsey or leave Aaron Donald in spots where he has to quickly, or he has time to get to. So it's less about the franchise owning one franchise as much as it is Kyle Shanahan knowing how to beat the Rams at what they do.
Okay, so here's what I want to say. I think you're 100% right. And I think what the Rams have done is I don't think they've given the Niners the proper respect the last few years. I think they come into these games and they're kind of like, we're going to do what we do. It's like, all right, well, you're going to lose again. And I
Mm-hmm.
think they've lost, what is it now? Five in a row.
Mm-hmm. Four with Jimmy and one with Nick.
And they've lost in the same way a bunch of times. They need to make an adjustment. Their season's on the line. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think they're going to do something different on defense. Whatever the hell they've been doing against the Niners, I think they're going to do something different, some type of front they don't show normally. Make some type of effort to stop the run. Otherwise, why even show up? I mean, really. So I think we're going to see something new. I don't know if it's going to work, but if they're worth anything, those coaches, they're going to try something new. Otherwise, they're
Maybe.
insane.
You would think that. You would definitely
Yeah,
think that, right?
you would
Like
think
what you're
that.
doing is obviously not working. You heard
No,
Debo Samuel talk when they asked. They said, "Well, what specifically are they doing? Anything changed?" He's like, "The same
no,
thing, really."
same
Yeah.
stuff.
So I don't know how feasible it is to just say this is what we've been doing all year. For this game, we're just going to switch things up. Like, and that's what I'll give D'Amico Ryans
Yeah,
plenty of credit for. Like the nickname that I'm running with D'Amico is the chameleon. Week to week against opponents, he's switching things up. He's playing a little bit more man this week. He's playing a little bit more cover two this week. He's sending blitzes this week. He's not sending them this week. So in that way, matchup to matchup, D'Amico Ryans is doing a great job. I just don't know if the Rams are going to do that because
right,
it would literally be, hey, we've played this way for 17 games.
right.
In this 18th game, we're going to switch it all up right now. So I don't know if that's really going to happen. So let's see. I think that's what makes it interesting. The chess match is going to be beautiful.
So if you're right, then the Niners really do own the Rams in a sense. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a schematic advantage that the Rams refuse to acknowledge and
Yeah.
adjust to. That
Right.
bodes well for this game.
It's funny because the things that people are frustrated with Jimmy Garoppolo, he exploits them against the Rams, and the Rams
Yeah.
don't change anything, right? Like it's almost like it's a perfect matchup for both. And I guess we're going to get into what's going on with the quarterback and everything as
Yeah.
well too. But you can kind of understand, I guess, a little bit where Kyle Shanahan's coming from with this, just because he knows that everything is going to be ball control in this game and things like that. So we'll get to it. But yeah, for me, it's not necessarily that psychological advantage that the Seattle Seahawks had over the 49ers for many years of just this is doom and gloom. We don't want to go to that place. Not many good things have happened with multiple quarterbacks, multiple regimes. It's more about Brandon Staley, Raheem Morris running most of the same stuff and Kyle Shanahan knowing how to attack it. Also, one more thing. The Rams are soft. The Rams are soft. When they get punched in the mouth, when you push them around, they fold.
Yeah.
And against good teams, they fold. The only reason they didn't beat the Baltimore Ravens is because Lamar Jackson didn't play.
Yeah.
The Packers beat them in a submission. Every winning team, they haven't really beat winning teams. So when teams come in and they punch them in the mouth, they tend to just take their ball and go home. And that's another thing. Like it's again, their style, the 49ers style, it's a perfect matchup for the 49ers to exploit. And the Rams haven't done anything to change that. So, I mean, and that's not me being overly optimistic. Those are just the facts. When you look at the games that they've lost against winning teams, those teams punched them in the mouth. And they just were like, all right, man, we don't want to win this game. We'll just move on next week. And we'll pound on the Jaguars, and everybody will say, oh, there go the Super Bowl contending Rams.
And they essentially concede the run and the short pass to take away the long pass. Well, that's a bad strategy against Jimmy Garoppolo, man.
He's literally not trying to do that. He's not trying to do that to you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if Jimmy plays and they do that against Jimmy, that they deserve to lose. If you can't be opponent specific at all, and you just do the same thing, I understand that's a good way to defend the best offenses in the league, teams like Kansas City, but you can't beat a team in your division because of this, and that's a problem. And it cost you a home playoff game. So we're not here to talk about the Rams anyway. I'm curious to see if they make any adjustment.